Alright, got a lot of catching up to do here, so I'm going to try to make this video as quick as I possibly can. My lvt channel back online, no community strikes, no copyright strikes, we are good to go. I am happy about this. I've been on probation for 90 days. I want to talk about what's going on with me physically. I've had a really bad, it's been about 10 days now. I started spitting up blood, a lot of it, and it scared the shit out of me because it was so much. So I went back to the doctor and he forced me into the emergency room. No choice. I went in, I spent half a day there. They wanted to keep me. I refused to stay. I stayed long enough for them to put an IV of antibiotics in me. This is what has happened. Okay, shh. It's okay. It's okay. My nose is still running. When I went into the emergency room, they done the laparoscopic down my throat into my lungs to look from the inside. Why I have pneumonia? Apparently I just had the flu. That's all I had, and I was almost over it. And when I went to clean that mold, when they took my air conditioner out and the mold was in the wall, I went to Lowe's and I got industrial strength bleach, and you have to water it down. I think the water even activates it, and I didn't dilute it very much. I wanted it strong, and I blistered the inside of my lungs with the bleach. That's what I did. I have a chemical burn pneumonia in my lungs, and my bronchial tubes are blistered, and they're literally little, it's the same thing as if you burn your skin. You're going to get bubbles, like little pockets of water bubbles, and that's what's happened to my throat and my lungs. The blood is not coming out of my lungs, it was coming out of my throat. And so I've not talked for over a week. Yesterday was the first time I talked. I was told not to say anything. I was taking off all acidic food, which was difficult for me. I thrive on fruit, especially in the summer when it's hot. I feel a little better today. I have been so weak. My body is not processing the food. It's just not doing it. Everything it's taking, I'm dehydrated. It's taking all of the water I shove in my body, and it's literally turning it into mucus. I have been just this huge mucus factory, it feels like, for about a month. And I'm really disgusted with that, but I don't do well on antihistamines. They throw me into, I can't even explain it. They make me start shaking real bad, real nervous. One of those you want to commit suicide shit. Yeah, I don't do well on antihistamines. So it's just been, I have just been taking care of it naturally. The worst thing I did was the aromatherapy. I didn't know my lungs were blistered. They didn't know. And when I done that, I just exacerbated what was going on there. And I have not stopped. My lungs are just full. They're just freaking full of mucus. And it's producing it faster than I can spit it up. But that's what I have to do. I am not going back to the emergency room. I explained that to them. This is it. I can't afford this. I'm on my 3rd round of antibiotics, because it's literally getting infected. And they keep getting more expensive. This time, they put me on Augmentin. And for 1 week of Augmentin, the cheapest price I found it in Las Vegas was $85. which is good because some of them were upwards of over 160. And I had to get that filled yesterday. Now, more news. A lot of you don't know about this. I have a lot of new subs. About a year and a half ago, I hadn't lived in Las Vegas. It wasn't even 6 months. And I got assaulted and robbed at the bus stop. And the guy took in broad daylight. And people everywhere. And nobody did anything. But I got robbed in broad daylight. Now, the guy took my purse. So he knew who I was. He had my driver's license. He knew who I was and where I lived. I never said anything, and I never thought it really bothered me, especially since I had moved apartments. I'm in the same complex, but in a different building. But they caught him, or at least they thought they caught him. That's what they told me. I needed to come down to the police office, and I did that yesterday as well. I went down there. I had to identify him. They caught him for something else. I couldn't even identify him when it happened. There were a couple of cameras that caught it, but nobody could identify who this person was. And they even had me look through some photographs of some local people, and I didn't see him anywhere. So they caught him for something else, and when they were searching his apartment, they found several hundred purses. And apparently he was just getting their money, their credit cards, and just throw jewelry, whatever, throw the rest in the box. When he robbed me, I had my little grocery buggy. He took the whole thing. He took my food, my purse, everything. He assaulted the shit out of me and landed me in the hospital in pretty bad shape. Only a handful of you are aware of this. I didn't tell everybody. So I went down to the police station, and I had to identify him. And it was him. Yep, they got him. So he's off the street, and he's on no bail. He's considered violent and a flight risk. He's not from Las Vegas. So they're keeping him, which made me feel better about it. And I did not realize that subconsciously I was still concerned about that. It didn't occur to me. So when I got home yesterday, after all of that, I collapsed. And I slept. And I slept. And I slept. Kelly got me up in the middle of the night. She needed to potty, and she needed something to eat. And then I just went right back to bed. And I slept. And I slept. Like I didn't have a care in the world. I wake up drowning. I wake up every day I wake up, and it takes me about an hour to get enough of this crap out of my lungs to even breathe. I'm so tired of coughing. Excuse me. I'm really tired of it. My solar plexus, I'm going to have a 6-pack just from coughing. You don't need to do sit-ups. Trust me. You can just cough, and those muscles there are going to work. You're going to get the workout of a lifetime. All right, so I'm going to cut this. My nose is just turning into a faucet here now. My body is just in overdrive of making mucus, and I don't know how to stop it. The best thing I do is sit outside in this warm weather. It's when a little wind gets blowing, it's like a hairdryer blowing in your face. But it does. If I was somewhere else, I think I would have done drowned. But thank goodness I'm in the desert. I can't believe I've done this to myself. At least I don't have West Nile. At least I don't have a different kind of pneumonia. This will heal. It's just going to take time. It's not viral. It's not bacterial. But because it keeps producing this mucus, I am, like I said, I've been on this is my third round of antibiotics. And they just keep getting stronger. And, oh my goodness, you ladies will understand what happens when you take antibiotics. I've been fighting a yeast infection for over a month. And as long as I'm on antibiotics, I'm never going to get rid of that. All I can do is placate it until I'm through with going through the antibiotics. So, oh my goodness, I'm just miserable. I'm miserable. My food is limited to alkaline, soft. I can't have anything crunchy that might scratch my throat because it's just raw. It's blistered as well. I can't have anything over salty. I can't have anything acidic at all. No acidic. I can no longer gargle with Listerine and stuff like that. That's off the table for now. I am stuck gargling with warm salt water just to keep the mucus broke up and to keep the inflammation down, the inflammation in my throat. My vocal cords will get so swollen just from coughing that I sound like a teenager going through puberty. My voice will hit this high pitch and then just quit. It's kind of funny. All right, that's it. I've got to go cough.